Alright, here in this video now, we are going to be installing the front wheel. I'm going to show you guys how to correctly install a factory GoPed front wheel setup. So we got a couple tools we need here: ratchet, 14mm socket, 14mm wrench, an impact driver if you have one. It makes life a lot easier. Got all our hardware for the front, brand new rotor, got a set of factory wheels that have been powder coated. Typically they're silver. Got our 671 tire and a tube. Don't forget the bearings and an air compressor. Let's go ahead and get right into the video on how to build this wheel. Forgot to mention, you're going to need a big fat 27mm socket and a nice size hammer. So, got our bearings here. Gonna go ahead and install that bearing there. Typically they fit solid in there when you install them. This is a used wheel that was powder coated, so it's probably not perfect condition, so you can see here. Anyways, on our back here, let's see if this one's still good on this side, so we're going to go ahead and pound this guy in. So as you can see, this is typically how the wheels are. They got a nice solid snug fit to them. There we go. So looks like that bearing's in there pretty good, but let's double check. Alright, we'll call that good. Other bearing's just gonna sit right in there. Gotta live with it. So there's that. Let's see here. Next, what we're going to do is we got our tire here. I'm gonna be building this wheel here for a GSR 46. Now this is a directional tire. It's akin to 671. If you look on the sides of the tire here, they have a little arrow showing you the correct direction the tire should be going. So on this one right here, the rotor is going to be on the left-hand side of the scooter. So knowing that, when you install this tube, you're going to want the valve stem sticking out on the right side so you can air it up. So we're going to go ahead and install the inner tube now. Again, remembering and making sure the tire goes in the correct direction and you have the valve stem on the correct side. Very important. So go ahead and pull the cap off of it here. Put that to the side. We're going to put a little air in the tube here just to make it a little easier to work with. So we got a little air in there. Put just a little bit more. Alright, we'll call that good. So we got that aired up. Next, what we're going to want to do is build our rotor here, all our hardware in the wheel. So let's see here. Before I forget to mention, this is a directional rotor, so you're going to want to have it going. This would be facing forward, so if the head is rotating forward or moving forward, the rotor is going to want to move in this direction here. So keep that in mind. Now this is going to be installed on the left side of the scooter, so if you're facing forward, this will be going in the correct direction. You got our hardware here. It's going to be installed like so. So we got all our bolts through there now. Now we got our spacers here. Installing our spacers on all four. Got our spacers all installed there. Getting back to the wheel here. We've got our rims we're going to have to install. So let's go ahead and install our rim halves. Now before I forget to mention, on our rims here, this little deflaw in here, so don't mind that. If you look at the opening here, there's an open hole on the rim. This is for aligning your valve stem. Very important that you have that lined up. So make sure you take note of that and install those accordingly. So we got it like that. Go ahead and flip it over. Now we're going to install the other half. We got our half installed there. Again, remembering about the opening here, you line that up with the valve stem. So we got both of those lined up. So on the back side here, it's not a big deal. This bearing did fall out, so don't worry about. We'll worry about that when we get to putting it on there, and I'll show you guys that in the video here. So we got our rotor here, got our wheel. Again, remembering when we put it on there, the valve stem is facing out, so you can air it up here in a few. So we go ahead, line them up, the bolts up with the holes. Get that going on there. Take our lug nuts here and put all those on. Let's go ahead and just get them started by hand. Got all those started, one more. So now that we got all those started here, we're gonna go ahead and tighten them up. Got our impact driver over here, 14mm socket, and 14mm wrench. Highly recommend getting a 6-point. So if you got a 6-point wrench, what that means is it has 6 points. If you have a 12-point, it has even more. This is a lot better, obviously, for this type of application. So we'll go ahead and put it on that side. Got our impact on this side. Go ahead and tighten it down. Snug it up. Always go crisscross when you tighten. So go ahead and snug this guy down. Next one. And the last one here. Tighten that up. Now that we have that tightened up, we're going to go ahead and air the wheel up now. So, again, making sure this valve stem is centered right here with the wheel. Make sure it's centered up. You don't want it crooked or off, because that will pinch the tube and cause unwanted stress on it, causing it to crack or split possibly. So, get that lined up. Everything looks pretty good in there. So you got a little bit of air in there. Go ahead and finish airing it up. Now, I think that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and double check our air pressure. This is going to be for doing some street riding, so I'm going to run about 25 psi in it. So let's go ahead and check that. We got about 22.5. Go ahead and a little bit more. 27, 28. Drop it down. A little more, so that's about 25.5, so we'll call that good. So we'll leave it like that. Go ahead and put our cap back on there. Put that back on. And that is how you put a front wheel together. Again, making sure our direction, akin to 671, facing forward. Rotation, we got our rotor on here, facing the correct direction. Got all our spacers. Making sure all your bolts are tightened down, or all your spacers are flush in there. Same thing on the other side here. Easy way to tell is if one of your bolts is sticking up more than the other, probably something's not down right. So go back and double check, make sure everything's seated correctly. Other than that, that is it. So you guys have any questions on this, feel free to shoot me a message, post up, and I'll be happy to help. Thanks for watching.